What is going on, people of the internet? Hyper Chaotic here with K double R, and welcome back or welcome if this is your first time visiting my channel. Now, if you've seen my previous videos on the matter of the TikTok ban, then you would have already known that I stated I would go over the reasons why some people are in support of TikTok, or at the very least against the ban, which is what I'm going to be doing today. If you haven't seen those previous videos, to whomever's watching, they will be linked in the description down below. But of course, today's video will be going over why people are in support of TikTok through the ban, or at the very least why some are against the ban. Now let's go ahead and get straight into it. Now, I would say the reason why people are in support of TikTok, or at the very least against the ban, is for two primary reasons. The first reason being, people don't really trust the government, and they've shown time and time again, especially if you've seen the case with the Supreme Court, I believe it was the Supreme Court, grilling the TikTok CEO. They have shown how absolutely incompetent they are, and how they pretty much don't know jack when it comes to technology, the internet, and social media, or at the very least, the basic functions of how it works. These same people also claiming that TikTok is a national security threat, yet do not care when American homegrown companies, social media corporations, buy and sell our data to anybody, or at the very least to any data broker that will have no problem selling our data to anybody, another corporation or another government. Not to mention, there have been cases where China had got their hands on leaked or breached data through American social medias before. It once happened, I believe, with LinkedIn, using a spy who was using LinkedIn, I guess, to work in American, I don't know, an American branch of authority of somewhere. There was a whole situation about it. I can't remember the full details. I recommend you do the research on it yourself. But when it comes to concerns about data breaches and leaks, trust me, there are enough issues to worry about when it comes to American corporations doing that enough as it is. And I'm not saying TikTok would be any better or any worse or whatever the case may be, but I highly doubt those concerns will be relaxed just because they were sold to an American corporation when they have the exact same issues. If we cannot trust American corporations to take care of our data, how can we expect TikTok to be a safer app to use online just because they're owned by an American corporation? That's ridiculous. These same politicians swear straight up and down TikTok would be better in American hands. Yet they have no understanding how social media works, how they do business, or just how anything functions, or at the very least, they pretend to play dumb because they may be in their pockets. Not to mention, a lot of people out there are just against regulations when it comes to the internet in general and social media, because it leads to a less free and open internet. And on top of all that, even people who are for the TikTok ban can acknowledge what an absolute shit show that case was, and how incompetent Congress can be when it comes to technology and proper regulations on it. For it, against it, neutral on the matter, regardless of your stance on it, we can all agree that Congress is very incompetent when it comes to this stuff, and they don't know what the fuck they are doing. And the second reason being that a lot of people, a lot of users, a lot of content creators on TikTok feel like Congress are taking away the one platform that gave them a chance, that gave them an opportunity to be seen, be heard, have a voice, and have free creativity that they probably couldn't have had on YouTube or any other social media platform.
Hi, I'm Papa Jake Larson. I'm a TikTok star, 101 years old. I landed on Omaha Beach on D-Day. TikTok has changed my life. TikTok has propelled me from a farm boy in Hope, Minnesota, to an international star. I've been able to share these stories with people around the world. and I mean around the world. Well, we love TikTok because it gets to people. It's fast and influenced the younger generation here. These children have not had a chance to study any Second World War in school. Through TikTok, I've got them reading my book. I've got 11 teachers right now confirmed that are using my book as their history book.
TikTok is the best social media platform, hands down. And if you notice, even the celebrities are different on TikTok than they are on, let's say, Instagram. Because for some reason, TikTok gives the artist or just anyone the ability to express themselves in a different way. TikTok is more about community. I highly suggest if you are considering posting on TikTok, do so and be vulnerable enough to connect with your audience in a real authentic way.
You know, there's so, like specifically, I'm a singer, and there's so many amazing independent artists that maybe would not have had the possibility of getting discovered or getting noticed. And I think it's done so many great things for like artists and small creators and small businesses, and it really just like connects people.
I'm not a supporter of the TikTok ban personally. I do remember seeing the TikTok Congress hearing that happened a couple months ago, and during that talk it seemed like they were in compliance with all U.S. regulations. They were doing their best to be as transparent with the government as to what their actions were. Personally, I do believe that TikTok isn't a company that is trying to take, I don't know, American secrets or any of the other conspiracies that are out there about TikTok.
I have a business, so on that end of it, I think it's very useful. A lot of people make a lot of money from TikTok Shop. It's very useful in that situation.
The U.S. shouldn't ban TikTok because it can't. We don't have a way to ban applications off phones and computers. We're not a surveillance state like China is. It wouldn't work. We can do certain things. We can ban TikTok from government devices. That's easy. We can ban U.S. companies from doing business with ByteDance. So that would mean TikTok wouldn't be an app in the Google and Apple store. U.S. companies couldn't advertise, but it still doesn't mean people can't get to TikTok. People can get to the website, people can have accounts, people can post, people can listen. It's not going to limit TikTok. Any attempts at banning TikTok are going to be worse than the problem it is. And it's a legit problem. Can we trust a company whose government we don't trust? But really, we've built an internet that runs on surveillance. What TikTok is doing is no different than what Facebook or Google are doing. So it's real hard once we have allowed surveillance capitalism as a thing to make fine decisions on who's allowed to spy on us. We built an internet where everyone gets a spy.
But primarily speaking, any sort of video platform out there such as YouTube, or really just YouTube, because before TikTok came around, YouTube practically had a monopoly on user-generated video content. Then when TikTok came around, more people had an open opportunity to get noticed, whereas YouTube was starting to get worse. I mean, it's still getting worse. YouTube is so saturated with all the various types of content and content creators out there, both good and bad, that it's really hard to compete and stand out, which is why a lot of people went to TikTok in the first place, especially due to its steroid-induced algorithms, which almost practically guarantees you get noticed on your first attempt. Now, whether or not you build a following, whether or not you grow an audience, whether or not you get any engagement on your content is another thing in of itself. But at the very least, there is a guaranteed chance your video will be seen. It will be noticed. It will flow through the For You page. I apologize if I stutter or slur on my speech a little bit. And a lot of TikTok content creators that started their own business, that started doing their own merchandise, are able to do it through the TikTok shop because it's just very convenient. Their audience is right there, so will their merchandise. It's just right there. And if you want to buy a product or support your favorite content creator, it's literally a swipe away. And although there are alternatives out there, plenty of YouTube content creators have been using tons of alternative websites just to sell their own merchandise, assuming they don't just make their own website. But I can't deny the opportunity of being able to sell your merchandise just through the same app that you make your content on. Just thinking about it, it just sounds absolutely convenient, not just for you, but your audience and your demographic as well. And for Congress to come out and just ban the app, they feel like it's basically being taken away from them. Not to mention, they feel like their freedom of speech and creativity is being suppressed, when in reality, it's not. You people just believe that shit because the TikTok CEO keeps feeding it to you, but that's not true. Now, I'm not going to get into it right now. I've already explained it a little bit in both my previous videos, which will be linked in the description down below again. And I will eventually do a separate video just going over that specific topic, that specific matter, whether or not the ban on TikTok is a suppression of free speech and creativity. Spoiler alert, it's not, but we'll go over why in that later video. If you are interested in seeing that video or any other video I have to offer in the near future, leave a like if you've enjoyed. If not, leave a dislike and a comment telling me why, even if you disagree with my points, because any and all interaction is good interaction for my channel and the algorithm, and any and all criticism can help me get better. And of course, if you did enjoy, subscribe to add a little dose of chaos in your life, and to be notified of that next following video going over why the ban of TikTok is not a suppression of free speech. But to put it bluntly, for anybody out there that actually likes to use TikTok, it's not a suppression of your free speech creativity. This is just a simple explanation. We'll go deeper in a later video, because you still have other options, such as YouTube and many other social media platforms, which many TikTokers out there are already using YouTube as an alternative to TikTok due to TikTok's own issues with censorship and constantly deleting people's videos, even if they don't really bring their audience over to YouTube or grow a separate audience on YouTube. They at the very least want to use YouTube to preserve their content so it's not constantly being deleted, which is an ongoing issue on TikTok for many content creators, even myself. Now, I personally don't really upload to TikTok anymore at all due to these issues. I got freaking sick and tired of it, while they also had the audacity to cry about free speech and creativity because of this ban. But nonetheless, I can understand people's frustration and why they don't want it to disappear. Because I also think about it like this sometimes. What if YouTube was in this predicament? Now, that's unlikely to ever happen in the US because it's a US company. But let's say it got banned in Canada, Mexico, the UK, or any other nation in Europe or Latin America, where there are plenty of content creators there who do this for a living. Just like plenty of TikTok content creators who do this for a living. And now, boom, their job just disappears because the platform is no longer available. Granted, their account and their content would most likely still be there, and the platform itself would still be accessible as long as you just use a VPN. But due to the issues of the platform not being able to do business and to properly provide services in said nation when it's banned, well, chances are they're not going to be able to make money off of their content because they won't be able to be properly monetized anymore. Or at the very least, they wouldn't be able to receive their money because now, in this hypothetical situation, YouTube was banned in their country and their bank no longer accepts any payments from YouTube. Now, of course, there are still other options for YouTubers and other content creators out there to make money if it's not directly through ad revenue or even membership donations via said platform, like direct donations via alternative payment methods such as PayPal, Cash App, and many others. Or, of course, taking sponsorships. Hell, I bet just me mentioning a VPN, you were probably expecting a VPN sponsorship to pop up in this video because, I mean, if you're on YouTube, you've done so many VPN sponsorships all the freaking time. It's practically been beaten into your skull what a VPN is. I don't even need to explain it to you, but trust me, with my numbers, I'm not getting a sponsorship anytime soon. I'm just saying you can literally get around this ban with a VPN. There's no VPN sponsorships here. But that is one way a creator can make money that it's not directly related to the platform. So even through the ban, there are ways for TikTok content creators to still make a living. It's going to be a little bit harder, or, they just got to use these other means, but it's still possible. Plus, and I think YouTubers can understand this, nobody wants a platform where they literally just build their audience and their brand and their content to just disappear overnight. I mean, it's not disappearing overnight. TikTok will eventually go away when the TikTok ban takes full effect, and assuming they lose their case before the time is up. Because if they don't, then that's obviously going to extend their time for how long they can do business in the States until they either win or lose the case. But nonetheless, their time is limited. Tick-tock. Time is running off of the clock, and they need to make a choice. Oh, I almost forgot to mention that another reason why some people are against the ban is because they're concerned about a migration of TikTokers coming to YouTube. And let's just say a lot of people on YouTube want nothing to do with TikTokers. But unfortunately, to say to you guys out there, they're already here. They've been here for a while for the very reason I just mentioned. They want to at the very least preserve their content. Or they do want to make long-form content, and YouTube is the place to go to do that. You can currently, as of the moment, now upload longer videos to TikTok. But let's be honest, nobody goes to TikTok for long-form videos. Nobody's going to watch that shit there. It's like going to McDonald's and all of a sudden they want to start selling you pizza. You don't go to McDonald's for pizza. You go to McDonald's for burgers and fries. If you wanted pizza, you would have gone to Little Caesars, Domino's, or Pizza Hut. And although nobody would really be against McDonald's selling pizza, let's be honest, you don't go to McDonald's for pizza. You're probably not even going to bother to try McDonald's pizza. You're just going to go there for the one thing you've always gone there for: burgers and fries. TikTok's short form content is their burgers and fries. Let YouTube make the long form, the big pizzas. And before people get concerned that all we're going to get from the TikTok migration is nothing but TikTok trash and brain rot, first of all, there's plenty of trash already available on YouTube. And secondly, there are plenty of decent content creators out there on TikTok if you actually bother to watch the good stuff instead of consuming the garbage. If you engage with it in any way, form, or fashion, positive or negative. It doesn't matter if you're mocking the person in the comment section or roasting the hell out of them. That's still engagement. You're basically telling the algorithm that's the only thing you'll engage with. If you like a video, but you don't actually like or comment on the video, then don't expect to ever see it again. I mean, this should be common sense now when it comes to video platforms with an algorithm. This should practically be expected, whether on YouTube or TikTok. But at the same time, it's hard for any good content to actually get noticed anymore nowadays on TikTok, because just like YouTube, the quality of the platform is getting worse. And it seems like all they ever want to promote is the brain rot and the garbage, which really doesn't help their reputation. But in all fairness, there are some decent content creators from TikTok that have already come to YouTube. Here's a few examples.
It was a crazy day. Yo, what's up, bro? Yo, where you been? Oh, I had to use the bathroom, bro. All right. But yeah, yo, that's pretty much why I hung myself on my baby mom porch. What? But, what are you talking about? I'm talking about that time when I hung myself on my baby mom's porch because she stressed me out. Who are you talking to? Well, I'm on live, bro. Bro, I don't think you should be telling strangers like stuff that deep, bro. I don't think. Bro, these my people. Like they care about me. These people all over the world, like they care about me. Like I'm just like hell, suicide.
Whoa! What is going on over there? We had passed a law that 30% of all government jobs have been reserved for people who fought in our War of Independence against Pakistan in 1971. Wow. Bangladesh is a country. I had no idea. Australia, did you know this? No, yeah, mate, we definitely did. You know, this is why everybody in the world makes fun of your education system, right?
So the crazy part is that even though they're all humans, they fight because of their differences. You have this group that hates that group because they're a certain color. That group hates this group. You have groups fighting and killing each other over land, and humans also have French people. Ugh, brutal.
What do you want for lunch, Riley? Can I have the dino nuggies? Dino nuggies. Please. Okay, your highness, coming right up. Son of a bitch! My toe. Shh. Bitch.
You know, one of the things that I find so interesting about the Varangian Guard is the source where they got their men from changed over time. You see, the Varangians were the elite mercenary bodyguard force of the Byzantine Empire. A tradition which dated all the way back to 988 AD when the Byzantine Emperor Basil II got these mercenary forces from the Kievan Rus. So the majority of these forces in the beginning were a mix between Nordic and Slavic men that came from this region.
75% of animals on this planet are herbivores.
Before I say anything, vegans, I respect y'all choices and I want no smoke. I'd rather be roommates with Travis the chimp. That being said, there was an island called Folo where scientists kept finding half-eaten and decapitated baby birds, and it wasn't foxes, it wasn't weasels. Turns out, sheep. Tortoises are opportunists that have been known to eat rabbit carcasses, and they've even been filmed catching and murking birds. Although if you can fly and get got by a mobile boulder, that's on you. Evolution did its job. Deer have also been known to eat expired rabbit. Matter of fact, there was a time scientists set up a 24-hour nest cam, and out of all the animals in the area, it was deer by far that took the most pre-meat poultry.
Someone just made $300 on one of these drummer quarters. Here's the quarter I was showing in the background. There it is, selling for $300. And the reason why is not on the reverse, it's on the front. All of these quarters say Liberty on the top. You need to look a lot closer. So in the letters in Liberty, you can see they're doubled. All of this right there, that's not supposed to be there. You can see it here on the Y also. That is doubling, and that is a major error for one of these quarters.
Alright guys, that's just about all I have to say on the matter. But right before I end this video, I just gotta clarify something really quick. Now, at this point, I have made multiple videos looking at the full situation, looking at both sides. And although in this video, I was trying to be very understanding of the circumstances for TikTok content creators, please do not take any of my points in this video or in the previous video as taking a stance for either side. I'm just going over the facts of the matter and trying to look at both sides of the situation. Although I have sprinkled in my opinion here and there in each video, do not take that as me taking a stance for either side. I will let my stance be known on the matter in my next following video when I go over why this ban is not a suppression of free speech. But until then, just let it be known within this video and within the previous videos, my stance has not been made yet. I have kind of clarified it in previous videos on the matter, like even before the recent videos, but since then my mind has recently changed. So in that later video, I will make it very clear what my personal stance is on the matter, if you're even curious at all. But I just don't want any of my points, any of this stuff I went over in this video or in the previous videos to be mistaken as me taking a stance on one way or the other on the matter. Feel free to let me know what your stance is on the matter as well as your thoughts and opinions down below, but I haven't given mine yet. Once again, if you haven't seen the previous videos, they will be linked in the description down below, as well as all my previous sources from the previous videos on the matter and any further sources, just like bonus sources included about the TikTok ban and anything around it, as well as including some of the previous videos I made on TikTok and the ban, as in before some of the recent videos, again like a few years ago. And I say I'm going to be linking these sources one last time because in the next following video I'm only going to be linking sources to the topic. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and once again, please do leave your dislikes even if you didn't enjoy it, because your dislikes do matter and I do appreciate your time even if you didn't enjoy it. HK out. Have a good one.